my angels, it's Hailey, Reese, and yes, Wine Wednesday is finally back. First and foremost, before I get into anything in today's video, I need to sincerely apologize for the absence of Wine Wednesday here on my channel. I know that there's some of you who have really missed it, and trust me, I have missed it so much. I tell you guys every week that Wine Wednesday has been a thing. It's like therapy to me. It feels amazing to sit down in a casual manner and just chit chat with you. And that kind of brings me into my second point that I wanna make before the video, and that is, this is the new official Wine Wednesday setup for the fall and winter time. I feel like it's super cozy. This is my swing hanging chair thingy majiggy, and I have literally always wanted one, like since I was younger, except this one isn't actually screwed into the ceiling right now. It's on a stand, just because I do plan on moving out of my condo in like 2 years' time and getting into a house, if that winds up happening for me, if the cards fall into place or whatever the metaphor is. And I just feel like it sounds like so much work to screw this into the ceiling. So we are just hanging and a swinging off of a stand, and I am loving this cozy vibe. I feel like you guys are right here with me in my living room, sharing a drink of your choice and just talking. It feels so good. Today is really exciting too, because I feel like, if I'm not mistaken, this is my very first story time here on Wine Wednesday. Typically I give like advice videos or rambly videos or just chit chat videos, but today I thought that I would share a funny little story time with you guys of something that happened to me a few weeks ago, and I felt like this was the perfect way to commence this new era of the swingy thingy majiggy Wine Wednesdays. Because I feel like I just want to chit chat with you guys as though you were here in my living room sharing an insane story with you. So I guess we're gonna get right on into it. I am slightly scared to make today's video solely because, on the odd chance that the psychic today's story is about found out who I was and is watching this video, I am gonna be very embarrassed about that. I'm sure I'll never know, but if you're watching this, I'm so sorry. Hopefully you can learn from what I'm about to share here. Either way, guys, the concept of her ever hearing what I'm about to share with you scares me, and I know that I should want to make her better. I get it, but I'm non-confrontational, and I am just not very good at criticizing people where there's like that I'm not close to. Anyways, with that being said, I'm about to take a big sip of wine. As you guys can see, I have a big glass of wine, and don't mind my nails, I chewed them off today. I will be getting them done in like the next day or so, but you are here in my living room sharing a drink with me. Don't judge me. All right, let's take a sip of wine and let's let this story time commence. Let me just tell you guys, I need this wine today. I'm kidding. Nobody needs alcohol, but it's one of those nights where a glass of wine is greatly appreciated. All right, so where do I begin? I guess I start back when I was in LA a couple of weeks ago. For those of you who don't know, the reason that I took a pretty big absence from both of my channels is because at the beginning of last month, I got the news that my wisdom teeth that have been impacted for like the past year were actually now infected. So it was making me super ill. My jaw was killing me. I don't know if you noticed, my face was swelling beyond belief for like the past 6 months, and it was finally time that I had to get them removed. But because I waited until I was sick, I didn't have time to like pre-film, so I was out for like a week and a half on that, and then I had to go out to LA on something really, really exciting, and you guys will be hearing about it shortly, hopefully. But because that trip was spontaneous and very quick and not planned as well, that was like a few weeks where I didn't have time to film a video, which sucked, and I've missed you guys so much. So thank you for still caring about me and my content, even though for the past month I've kind of been MIA. I super duper appreciate it. So anyways, while I was in LA, my mom, Sarah, and I decided to film at Picnic Table 29. As you guys have seen the video, I'm sure. If you haven't, I suggest checking it out. I almost died for that video. But we decided to film at Picnic Table 29. And the thing about Picnic Table 29, which is a haunted picnic table in Griffith Park, is that there's no real good directions at all to get to this picnic table. In fact, I had to like scavenge the internet to try to find the coordinates of the picnic table so that we could find our way towards it. However, during this process, prior to me finding the coordinates, I saw these two girls walking through the park. Well, not girls, women. I don't know. Does anyone else find it weird to go like between the word girls and women? They were women. And I asked them if they knew of Picnic Table 29, and they said that they'd never heard of it, they didn't know where it was, but it obviously sparked some questions from them as to what this picnic table was and why we were so seriously on the hunt for it. And I got to talking about how I'm super into the paranormal and I wanted to go and film a video at Picnic Table 29. Now, one of the girls who does know my name, I don't know if she remembered it, I did not write it down for her. Hopefully she's not watching this video. But she started to go on and tell me that she had a friend of hers who was a legit medium, that she could talk to the dead, that you could talk to your loved ones through her as a vessel, and that she is incredible, and that I should give her a call. And then she proceeded to tell me that she was free, but she accepted donations because she wanted to utilize her gift in a positive way and didn't want to charge anybody a set amount of money. So immediately I was super interested. I thought regardless, it would be a really cool experience to have, and then I could come onto my channel and share it with you guys. And I was really excited to do it. Now, I know there are people who think that people who talk to the dead are that of Satan, and I just don't believe that. I would like to do a video on my personal belief systems, as people have had a lot of questions since I do wear a cross and I practice my faith daily, and I have high faith in God and owe my life to God. But I do believe in psychics, and I do believe that we all possess the ability to see beyond our veil, but some of us tap into it sooner and some of us are just more naturally gifted at it. Some of us don't have to work at it. And I actually recently, when I was in LA, if you guys want to hear about it, had seen a psychic spontaneously when I was in a crystal shop who just knew things about me that nobody could have known, not even you guys who watch me. Very deep emotional things, wounds that I've suppressed and all of that, and it was a very healing experience. So I was especially open to the concept and idea of speaking to somebody who could potentially speak to my grandfather and give me healing messages from the other side. So I took down her name and I took down her number, and I decided that I would reach out to her shortly and see if I could get on a call. A couple of days go by, a week goes by, I forget about it, and then one day I'm here in my condo and I'm like, oh, I need to like reach out to this girl and see if I can get some sort of a reading. So I sent her a text message and she says, yes, amazing. She just knew my first name. She said, I'll just need your name and I will need to know a time. So I told her my name was Hailey, didn't give my last name, and I told her a time that worked for me. And I asked her specifically if there was anything that she needed from me prior to the reading, because I've noticed that some people will require like a picture or a name or anything of the deceased loved one you're trying to get in contact with. She said, nope, just put healing vibes out to the universe, ask for love, ask for guidance, ask the questions that you want, tell your loved ones to come through, X, Y, Z. And I was like, awesome, sounds great. At this point, I need to sip my wine. It is Wine Wednesday, not chatty something, I don't know. So, I am super hyped. I'm on like cloud 9. I'm like, I'm gonna get to talk to my grandpa. This is amazing. I'm in the shower that morning, literally like having a conversation with God, my angels, my grandpa, saying like, I want you to be blunt. I want to hear the healing messages I need. I want you to guide me. Like, Grandpa, I miss you. Please come through. I'm like talking away. I'm all hyped for the call. The call is at 4 o'clock or 5 o'clock, I believe. I sit down in my office. I'm all set up. I've got my notepad next to me so I can write down like the messages that I need. And I am just ready. Now, forgive me if I don't remember every single detail. I'm gonna be super bummed when I'm editing this video if I forget like big things, because this was a couple of weeks ago. But I'm gonna do my best here. Sit down, give her a call. Number one, she is so sweet. She sounds like just the sweetest soul. I'm a very big vibe person. And one thing about me that I'm not sure I've ever talked about, but when I initially meet somebody, I get a vibe on them, positive or negative. And people are able to defer me. So what I mean by this is like if I meet somebody and I get a really bad vibe from them, they can not trick me, but defer me from that thought by being a good person or being kind or being loving or whatever. And I could be like, maybe I was wrong. But in the end, my intuition is always right. And right away with this girl on the phone, I have a really great vibe. I'm like, she's sweet. Her aura just glows through the phone. So automatically, I feel as though this is going to be a positive, healing, incredible experience, and I am just over the moon about it. So she starts out, and one of the first things I believe she said, like I said, this is a little foggy now because it's been a few weeks, but the main things I remember. So she starts out with something along the lines of, you know, I see this woman, she's showing me you as a child, could it be a grandmother? Well, my dad's mom, my grandmother on his side, passed away last year. So right away I was like, woo, she's on, like she's got it. And I said, yes. And then she's like, and I'm also seeing and sensing a grandfather. And I was like, yes, 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 yes. Like these are exactly who I want to talk to. These are the people, these are the spirits I want to communicate with. And it all just goes downhill from here, guys. In summary, right off the bat, she starts telling me that I'm conflicted in life and that there's two paths here and that she sees me, you know, conflicted. And I kind of resonated with that in a sense. Like I'm constantly conflicted on what the best avenue to take in life is. I'm a very deep thinker and I overanalyze everything. And so I was like, yeah, I'd say so. And then she tells me that she feels as though I don't have an established career. And at this point, I'm like, but I don't want to tell her that she's on the wrong path, and I don't want to like defer her because I want her to give me like an authentic reading. So she starts telling me that there's a lot of, you know, different things going on, and she's sensing real estate. And she asked me if that rings a bell with me. And I'm like, I mean, like I want to invest in property and I'm looking to move right now. And I'm looking, like not move from here, guys, just like trying to give you insight. I'm looking to get a space in LA again. You guys know that. And I'm like, so maybe that's it. She goes, no, it's more of like a career thing. And I'm like, oh, well, my mom was a mortgage broker at one point. And a few minutes later, she's like, let me get some clarity. And she goes, your mom's passed, right? And I was like, oh, no. I just mean she was a mortgage broker because like in the past she was. She goes, oh, so sorry. It must be the grandmother I'm feeling. That's the maternal thing. And I was like, okay. And that was a little bit of a red flag to me, not because she like got something off, because I understand readings are very give and take and some things can be misinterpreted, but because I felt as though because she heard me use past tense, like was a mortgage broker, that she just assumed my mom was dead. But I didn't like feed into that. I was like, okay. And she starts telling me that she gets this real sense that I'm very artistic, but artistic in the sense of painting and pottery and sewing and, you know, drawing. And that could not be further from the truth. I am, hands down, the worst artist ever. In fact, in kindergarten, my kindergarten teacher, her name was Miss Doward, we had to do like self-portraits in those, I don't know if you guys remember them from grade school, but they're like these drawing books, and when you open up the pages, they're like brown. It's like kind of like a parchment paper. Anywho, I worked so hard on this self-portrait. And when I brought it up to Miss Doward, she informed me that she felt like I'd rushed it and I could try harder. And I was devastated. But needless to say, the arts that I specialize in or I'm good in is like writing and singing and performing. That's my version of arts. My grandma is a phenomenal painter, an incredible artist. My uncle, same thing. My cousin, same thing. My sister, even same thing. But me, I don't have like an artistic bone in my body. But I'm letting her continue. And she's like, wow, you're so artistic. Like, wow, okay. This is really like your life path. And then she starts saying something along the lines of my brother, and she just senses that I have a brother. And I'm like, I don't have a brother, I only have a sister. And she's like, oh, but like I feel like you have a brother. And then she brings up that, do I have a significant other? And I said, yes, I do. And she starts saying, oh yes, it's like as though you two are already married, this, that. And I'm like, yeah, you know, we've been together a long time. We've had our little breakups here and there, but that's like my person. And she begins to go off on this tangent, you guys, about how she knows my life purpose. She's just seen it. She's like, I see you as a little girl in the kitchen baking. Now, my grandma and I, the grandma that you guys know, and I used to bake all the time when I was little. And she's like, do you bake now? And I was like, honestly, no. My concept of baking is getting like the pre-made cookie dough that I just have to like cut and roll into little balls and stick in the oven. Or those like pre-made cookies that are the best. Nobody can argue me on this, like the Halloween ones and the Christmas ones, like, you know, those are delicious. Or like the Cinnabons, like all the pretty much pre-made, like foolproof baking, that's my thing. I'm not like a baker. I'm not even a cook for that matter. I'm no Gordon Ramsay. She starts telling me that she just sees this baking thing. And out of nowhere, you guys, she tells me my life purpose. I need a drink for this. And I want to give a disclaimer quickly. Me laughing at this is by no means laughing at this profession. In fact, I think it would be a wonderful life. I'm laughing because I don't know who on earth she was reading in my condo, but it was not me. She proceeds to tell me that my calling in life is to be a baker, and that I am going to open my own bakery in Michigan, where I'm moving. So now not only am I uprooting and uplifting to Michigan, and I'm buying a yellow house, which I don't mind yellow houses, but that's not my dream home. I would not buy a yellow house, like by choice. I like white. My kitchen was supposedly gonna be all yellow. I'm very like neutrals as far as like, I would maybe have yellow accents, but I would never like paint my cupboards yellow, and that's what she saw for me in a yellow house in Michigan. And I was going to have a bakery. So she starts going on about how this bakery is like what my grandparents want me to focus on, that I need to start baking, that she just can't shake the thought that I'm going to be a baker at my own bakery in Michigan, in my yellow house, in my yellow kitchen. And I'm not joking you. I muted the phone so I could laugh. Like, it's just so not me, you guys. Like, so not me. I'm not artistic. She told me I have magic hands when it comes to art, that I can just paint and I can just draw and I can make things out of clay. Oh, and I'm a baker. Oh, and I'm an amazing cook. And that is just not me. Like, anybody who knows me knows that I go through multiple sets of pans a year because I like burn them because I suck at cooking. In fact, I have set fires in kitchens before. So I am by no means Little Bo Peep. I don't think she's a baker. I'm just by no means a Gordon Ramsay. So I'm laughing on the phone at this point because like it's just not me, you guys. Like none of this reading is me. And I'm not trying to be rude. Like I said, it would be very fun to live in a yellow house in a yellow kitchen and be a baker. That would be fun. It would also be very fun to be able to be artistic, but you know what? I just wasn't given those genes. But now it's like 20 minutes into the reading. Not one thing has been accurate other than a deceased grandma and a deceased grandpa. And I just know at this point she's not reading me. So I'm trying to get off of the phone, to be honest with you. I'm like, well, thank you so much. I've got so much insight, like, thanks. And then she's like, no, we need to talk more about this bakery. And it gets better. She then proceeds to tell me that Tyler shares the same baking dream as me, and that we are going to go to City Hall and elope so that we can sign the papers of our bakery in Michigan as husband and wife. Now, this is also something that we just wouldn't do. Nothing wrong with going to City Hall and eloping, like absolutely nothing wrong with it. I wouldn't even consider it eloping at City Hall. Nothing wrong with going to City Hall and getting married, like whatsoever. But I just like, that's not something that I would do. And he's like Italian Portuguese, so like his family takes weddings very seriously. Not that you get married for anybody else, but I'm just saying. So my lifelong mission, my lifelong destiny is to move to Michigan to a yellow house with a bright yellow kitchen with like, and not just a yellow kitchen, like we're talking like, she said yellow cupboards, yellow everything. To open up my own bakery. Oh, and I'm an artiste. So for those of you who are gonna critique me here, I was saying to her, I haven't even drawn anything since I was like 6. Oh, and I don't know how to bake. Oh, and I've tried to paint. In fact, my grandma, who's an incredible artist, has tried to teach me to paint, and I just don't have the eye, or better yet, the hand-eye coordination to do so. But she's telling me that this is what she sees for me. What was the other things that she said? So a lot more is talked about, a lot more is said. She starts to tell me then that my boyfriend is also going to be the accountant for our bakery, and this is a guarantee, this is a given. And he's not particularly good at math, nor has he went to school for accounting, nor is that a dream of his, so that just wouldn't happen anyways. And then she starts to tell me that I'm going to have a baby in the next 2 years, and that she sees me walking to school. So like, she said that my bakery was past the school. So I'll walk to school with my kid, drop my kid off, and then go to my bakery. At this point in time, she asked me if I have any pets yet, and I told her that I have a male dog and that I just got a female dog. And you guys, this is where things get wild. She asks me if my dog is a bully breed, if she's a bulldog. And as you guys know, Blue is a French bulldog. So now I'm second guessing everything. I'm like, okay, what? Like, am I gonna move to Michigan and become a baker? And for those of you who don't know, like, I'm Canadian. Like, moving to the States is like a big deal in the first place. And nothing wrong with Michigan, but I've just never envisioned opening up a business there, ever. And it's just very, like, different to me. So she asks me if I have clothes for my dogs, and I said yes, because as you guys know, I do. And then she told me that my grandma says to stop dressing my dogs up in clown clothing, and that she's showing her me putting my dogs into like sunflower like costumes and ladybug costumes, and that I dress them up in literal costumes every single day. And I was like, no, I don't. But she goes, well, that's what your grandmother's telling me. I'm like, okay. At this point, it's like 50 minutes into the reading, and she proceeds to ask me what I do for a living now. And it's 50 minutes in, guys. At this point, I've accepted that I'm about to go to City Hall and get married, that I'm moving to Michigan, opening a bakery, having a child in 2 years. Oh, and I'm an artist now. I've just like accepted it. Like I didn't even want to argue with her, because anytime I would try to tell her that this wasn't the life that like I live, like when I tried to tell her that I'm not a good artist, that I'm not a good baker, that I literally ruin pans on the daily because I suck at cooking. Like, if it's not avocado toast or a donkey egg, I'm not mastering it. Like, it's just not in my cards. Oh, actually, I can cook a really good salmon. But I'm trying to tell her that, like, that's not me. And she just, like, keeps deferring back to that this is me. So I gave up on arguing with her. So at this point, I've accepted it. And she finally asked me what it is that I'm doing right now. And I didn't know what to say. So I was like, oh, I'm trying to get into, like, show business. And she tells me, well, don't give up on that hobby. Just because you're gonna be a baker doesn't mean you can't do that on the side. Like, I see you. Doing toilet paper commercials and hot dog commercials. You guys, I wish that I was making little details up of this. I wish with every fiber of my being that it wasn't so far off, but literally the only thing in the whole reading that was real was that I had a bulldog dog, and everything else was off. There was a lot more too, you guys, but I'm giving you the meat of the story. So the call continues, and she keeps reiterating that I need to open this bakery. Oh, I forgot. She told me that when I get off the call, start looking at places to apply to go work in a bakery so that I can like learn under somebody and somebody can take me under their wing so that I learn how to get my baking skills, because I told her I didn't have any, and then I can open my bakery. Oh, and my bakery was gonna be called something like Sunshine Frenchie, something like that. So the call continues and the call ends, and she tells me, you know, I work for free, you can send me a tip, and I hope that you enjoyed today's reading. And bear in mind, she was super sweet, and that was the hardest part, was like, I was trying to kindly tell her that she wasn't reading me, trying to kindly tell her that there's no way in this world I'm going to be a baker because I can barely bake for my family. And you guys saw, I've done videos with my grams before where all I want to do is just eat the cookie dough. I'm not a good baker, especially not to open a bakery. And I definitely can't sew, and I definitely can't paint. And I'm definitely not about to go to City Hall next week and get married so that we can open our dream bakery. So the call ends and I called my mom and she goes, how did it go? And I said, well, I better quit YouTube now because apparently I've had it all wrong. I am a baker and I am an artiste. And my mom looks at me and she's like, there's no way that's you. So I call Andrew and I'm like, Andrew, I just like spoke to another psychic. She said that she could talk to my grandpa, this, that. And he's like, oh my God, like fill me in. He's like using the bathroom and he's on the phone with me, which is normal for us. And I tell him and he goes, Hailey. And I'm like, what? And he goes, that is not where I saw this story going. So then we had a good laugh about the fact that she knew what my dog was. So maybe, who knows, all else in my life will fail. I will move to Michigan to my yellow house with my yellow cupboards and my yellow kitchen. I will get married at City Hall and I will have a bakery that is just past my child's school. Who knows? Well, you guys, that is the story time of the psychic who, I don't know who she was reading, but it definitely wasn't me. In fact, I am starting a series here on my channel where you guys will see just how artistically challenged I am. If you know me, you know that that was not me. But it is very strange that she knew about blue. Well, you guys, I hope that you enjoyed today's video. I hope that you felt like you were here with me listening to a friend rant about her psychic reading. I love you guys so much. It feels so good to be back. You guys have no idea. I am going to see you in tomorrow's video, and the 5 videos a week is starting. It's only been a while, I know. But thank you. I needed this clarity break. I needed this little bit of time to creatively recharge and figure out what on earth I truly want to do with my channels, what I want to do for you guys, and how I can continuously better myself in my content. So thank you for that. And until next Wednesday, cheers, babies.
I didn't even cry.